I'm gonna make this one a countdown. I got 1 year and 11 months in. That means I officially have 30 days. 30 days to 2 years. What a wild ride. I'm about to go home, grab the kayaks, and we're going out on a kayak right after work. Summertime, why not? Then I'll come back and hang with the kids for a little bit. And, you know, I live right next to a place I could drop them. For the longest time in my life, my whole life, I've been surrounded by things that I can do. And I've done none of them. I remember living in Hermosa Beach. I lived there for like, I don't know, 2 years, something like that. I'd go to work, I'd come home. I was like 120 steps away from the sand, from the ocean, which I haven't seen in a very long time. I don't know, over a decade. I haven't seen that Hermosa ocean since 2015. I haven't felt the need to go back there. I don't know anybody I could stay at their place for that I would. So I haven't gone there since 2015. So what, 11 years? I haven't lived there since 2000. So 26 years. But I'd go there, I'd live there, and every day I'd come home and, I don't know, play a video game or do some bullshit. Then I moved to this state. And I lived here for a long time. I've been here 20 years now. Officially. Yeah, this would be officially end of July. And for most of this time, I don't know, 18 of these years, I didn't really do anything. I didn't go anywhere. I'm surrounded by all this beauty. All of the, like, there's a hike on every corner. If I want to go 15 minutes out, I can find a hike in the town I live in. If I want to go an hour and a half, I can find epic views, waterfalls. But yet, for 18 years, I just kind of just lived here. Anybody watching this, where do you live? What could you do? I get so wrapped up into like work and everything that it took me traumatic experiences for me to unlock something in my brain and say, I'm gonna go do this, and then to go do it. And we're around so much beauty. Well, I don't care where you live. Like, if you live in the city, chances are, whatever city you live in, you're not too far from something amazing. And it's probably free to go see. I always thought of something good as like, I had to, you know, pay for it. It's going to cost a couple grand if you really want it to be nice. And if you really, really want it to be nice, it's $5 grand or more. Right? And so, like, I never did that stuff. I go on these vacations. But why did it always take once a year vacation to go do something? You know, every once in a while I'll go for a walk around the block. But, like, there's so many apps. Even if you look at your maps, whether you use Google or Apple, if you just zoom out a little, you'll find something. And then you can zoom in on that and you can go to it and just, you know, appreciate it. And I don't know, it's not for everybody, but it never was for me until it is now. Staying clean is about being clean for me. It's not about just not getting loaded. Sure, there's the work, the sponsorship, the being a sponsor, you know, the writing of the steps and making the meetings. Yes. Being of service, all of that is important. It's a necessity. I agree. Like, I agree with that. It's a necessity. But what past that makes life worth living? What past that makes life an adventure? I got to a point where I was like, I don't want anything more. I don't want to be excited anymore. But the whole point of being excited was because I was so bored. And the only reason I was so bored is because I wasn't willing to just open my mind and say, what's out there? Let me go experience it. Let me just go. This all started with somebody who went to Cannon Beach. That's where they filmed the Goonies. I saw pictures on their Facebook and I had them up and said, hey, what did it take to go there? Like, you have kids, you know, you're single. Tell me how you set that up. And they were like, I don't know. I woke up and wanted to go, so I went. And I was like, what do you mean? And I realized how close-minded I was to what's out there. And now it's like everything. I just want to do all these things. And I'm not going to be able to do half of them. And I love that. I love that there's so many things that I'm not going to be able to do even maybe. I'll be able to do a third of them. So many things. Everything is a flight away. It's a flight away. And it's really a couple weeks ahead of time if you really want to do it. We can get so wrapped up in the motions and be so tired because we tell ourselves we're so tired, and then we're sitting there isolating. The only thing that sounds good is an escape while we're sitting there. And then that's the one thing that caused me so much pain, grief, chaos, mayhem, all of it. You know, self-shame, like all of it. If I found out tomorrow, like if I got hurt and I ended up in the hospital and the doctor said tomorrow, buddy, I'm sorry, but you ain't gonna make it out of this hospital. Sure, I'd be panicked. Sure, I'd be scared. But then I believe that I would look up and be like, damn, man, you gave it your all. And in that, I won't say, fuck, I wish I would have given it my all. I might say I wish I would have done it sooner, but I'll come to the conclusion if I couldn't have done it sooner. And I'll be grateful for what I did do. I'll be grateful for what I did leave. I won't say, man, there were so many things I wanted to say to so many people because I made these. I won't say there's so many things I wanted to write down because I got that. You know, there's so many things that I want to do, but I did so many things in such a short period of time while trying to, you know, do my best to change everything. And I really am proud of myself for this. No matter what it looks like from the outside in, no matter who's watching this, whatever they're saying, it doesn't really matter. What matters is when I look at myself in the mirror, I look at myself eye to eye, I'll be able to say, I gave it my all, my everything, even at this age, all of it, the body change, the gym, the freaking everything. We can always work harder, for sure. But I can sit back and say, man, I worked my ass off to get here. And it wasn't just sitting around staying clean. And I'm truly grateful. 30 more days. 2 years ago, I'm sitting here wondering if I'm even going to be in treatment. I know I need to clean up. 2 years ago, this is when I went on my run. And it wasn't necessarily the run that like some people have, so I don't need to compare it to those runs. But it's where I was like, okay, I need to get in. Then I gave myself an excuse to like, okay, well, I'm going in, so. And that's when I hated myself the most. Because if you think about it, 2 years ago was not, like 2 years ago today was not my clean day. I was afraid, scared, alone. I looked at myself, I looked at my surroundings, I looked at everything and thought, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And today, I feel like a new man. I feel like a different person. I have a whole different perspective on life. I'm happy today. I'm grateful more than ever. I trust God better than ever. I have a relationship with myself that's a real relationship. And I value myself. Sure, I got these insecurities. I got these challenges. You know, like I feel less than a lot. Sometimes I feel like maybe, you know, maybe the people I thought aren't quite what I thought. But then the more and more I'm good with myself, the less and less I'm seeking others to validate me. I don't seek the validation of others like I used to. There are a few I seek the validation of. But it ain't everybody. I mean, before, like, I could go to a store and make a compliment to somebody if I did, and they could say something sideways because they're having a bad day, and I could fuck up 2, 3, 4, maybe a week, maybe, who knows, longer. It could fuck me up because I needed everybody to like me until I found that nobody liked me. And it wasn't even about if they liked me. The people who loved me hated I was like that, but they loved me. And the people who liked me, I mean, I don't even know. I was too busy trying to make sure everybody likes me that I hated myself. And that's not why I hated myself, but I did. And so I'm just grateful for today. 30 more days, man. This time next month, I'll have a couple more days before I go climb that mountain, before I post my last video. And you know, I was gonna do this like end it on 1 year, but I love that I continued going on until 2. There's no significance for me to do it past that. I don't need to sit there and be like, no, I got to do 2 years, 3 months, and 3 weeks. No, just a 2-year marker, get the black tag, and continue living life the way I've built it so far. That's great. That's all I need to do. And just people call me today, and they bounce things off me like I bounce things off them. And I feel like I can, you know, like I had a conversation with somebody before I even got in my car. And they're like, man, I really like the way you look at things. Never even looked at it that way. They're like, I'm so glad you called. Or I'm so glad I called. And then when I got off the phone, it wasn't a thing. It wasn't like, look at me. Even though I'm sharing that right now, it wasn't a thing. It was just part of my thing that I do for people. For some, I don't need to do it for everybody. Just for the ones that need the help, or the ones that call and ask. And I don't have to be liked by everybody. I don't have to have everybody like how I operate or how I think. I like how I operate. I like how I think. And this version of me is thanking that 2 year ago version. for not completely dying and letting go. So if you're sitting there in pain, hating yourself, but you haven't quite pulled the trigger, you haven't quite tightened the noose, you haven't quite driven off the cliff, and you're just this much closer to that day one instead of one day, you will thank that version of yourself for not doing it. Because you'll be at a place, may not be my place, but you'll be at your place, and that place will feel content. I thought I was looking for serenity. I really did. All I wanted was serenity. I looked it up. It was the absence of chaos. But that's not really what I've been looking for only. I've been looking for contentment. Contentment takes away complacency. Complacency is that I'm sitting on my hands and I'm struggling. This shit just sucks. And contentment is like, I am so happy that I'm right here. I can live like this. This is good. Well, I gotta go. That's all I got. Bye.